Blessings, people. Welcome to Can I Speak on this channel, and this is Murphy. You know, every day goes by, I'm looking at the United States as a very sad place. It's a very sad place, especially with the person who's supposed to be the head of the country. It's sad. I hear this man say some things, and I see very well educated people act like they don't have no sense. They clap and they cheer him on and they tell him how much he is this and he is that, and they know they're lying. But I guess they just continue boosting his ego. No, when you can lie to a group of people and they know you're lying, but they pretend that, and they let it slide. But when you say the same thing to other people who are not afraid of making you feel bad or let you know that you're lying, can be very sad. America, you guys honestly couldn't find anyone better to run your country? Yeah, people can say, well then, you come from and blah blah blah, but maybe it's expected to see the way my country is. Because we're the Caribbean, and we don't have the access and the asset like these big countries. But a place like the United States of America is supposed to be this big superpower. I have never seen you look so shaky in all my life, and sad and pitiful. That person who you guys have as the head of the country is making you guys look real bad. Honestly, you guys look real bad, look sad, pitiful. When I see other heads of state laughing at the person who is supposed to be the head of the country, laughing at him, I can't believe that this is the United States of America. Honestly, I cannot believe that this is the big superpower country. Have some little child, a little child. You get somebody from the kindergarten to run the country. Couldn't you get someone from the high school? Somebody that you have somebody in there who loves to get his ego boost. And those around him will do anything and everything. And as somebody who don't live in the United States, seeing these things, it looked bad. So when I see what goes on in that meeting today and his speech and what he says, and no other president ever achieve or do what he does, and blah 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 blah, and see heads of state laughing, then he's trying to make excuse. Anyway, we're gonna listen to a little clip from Sept late night show. Sad.
Crazy solo press conference in New York where he defended his Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh from sexual assault allegations. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Trump, of course, lies freely to his adoring fans at rallies and on Fox News, but yesterday at the United Nations, we saw what happens when he steps outside his bubble. He repeated a ludicrous campaign talking point, and the crowd laughed at him.
In less than 2 years, My administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country.
You say these things to your party and to your people in the United States, and they laugh and they cheer you on, and they act as if that, yes, you are the greatest, you are the best, you are the brightest, you're the this, you're the that. But you see the difference when you say it in front of other people who are not going to boost your ego?
America's so true. Didn't expect that reaction, but that's okay.
Well, you're not you where you think you're talking to.
He had no idea what he was saying was funny. It's like he's been playing for the Harlem Globetrotters his whole life, and suddenly they're playing against the Golden State Warriors. What do you mean, technical foul? I always use this ladder.
They make fun of this man more than anything else.
Now, the UN...
Honestly, is this what you guys are? Is this the person, man? You guys
place,
gonna
and now
find
Trump
nobody
has
better?
turned it into the studio audience for Married with Children. From now on, all of Trump's speeches should come with a sitcom disclaimer.
Trump is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
It's such a bummer to watch world leaders sit around and laugh at us. I just wish someone had run for president promising to do something about it.
The world is laughing at us.
Long
the world
time.
is laughing at us.
And
they
they're
think
laughing
we're
at
stupid.
you
They
big
think our
time.
representatives don't know what they're doing. They laugh at us behind our back.
See, he fixed it. Now
And he knows what he is doing. He knows what he's doing because those bright, well-educated people that he has around him make him feel like he is the one with all the education and the brightness. When all they have to do is to let him know straight up. But I guess, like I said, if people don't see no problems with an issue because they're benefiting from it, they're not going to do anything about it. They're not going to do anything about it. And America, honestly, just a little small person telling you guys this or saying this, you guys look very pitiful. And that person who you guys have, the leader of the country, I don't even want to call his name. I didn't even want to put no title on him. Because I don't think he deserved to have a title. This man have no... I've heard so much about Donald Trump since he stepped into politics that I don't think I would have known if he wasn't in politics. I thought this man was a very well-educated, smart, and whatever. But you ain't smart, man. You're a bully. And with all the things that you're doing, no one in your party find anything wrong with what you're doing. And that is the sad thing. Because if you think this is the first time people are laughing at them stupid things that you're saying, I mean laughing in your face, you're going to see more. Because that just break the ice right there. And people have to really sit down. When these big prime minister, president, and whatever it is from other countries hear you speak like that and knowing what they know, because the world can see everything. The world can see everything because there's social media. And the things that this man says and everybody else. Oh, yes, mister. Yes, mister. Yes, you are the best and you have done and blah, 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 blah. But remember, you have to deal with the rest of the world too. And they are not as stupid as the ones who you have behind you. Yes, sir, no, so nobody knows say no. Everybody keeps saying yes. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the more I sit back and look at it and laugh, and sometimes I feel sad and I'm like, no, honestly, this is not the United States that I know that I've been hearing about for so many years. I never thought the day would come that I would be saying that this place looked very pitiful with the person who they have inside there. I'll make America great again. You have made America a big laughing stock. And somebody needs to tell you the truth, because if they don't, sooner or later, I mean, the respect that the United States had before, they don't have that respect anymore from the world. No, they don't. And somebody needs to say something, because trust me, I think you guys could have do better. A lot of you probably saying that, you know, man, if I didn't know. But you see that word, if I didn't know, a lot of you already know, but choose not to do it. Just run along with what you had, because we want back the power. We haven't been in power for so long. So I will disrespect whosoever, female, male, children, anybody, just to hold on to this power. But everything doesn't stay the same forever. There gonna comes a time when all your sins and everything that you have done wrong, you're gonna have to face it. And those who are aligned with you, gonna have to be right beside you and face it. And the only way I see that not happening is if the dream that I got about you wanting to be president for life, and if you have your way with the Supreme Court. But otherwise from that, I really hope you stand up and answer to everything that you have done that you shouldn't have done. Wow. You hear about corruption in politics, and sometimes you have to look good to see the corruption and whatever, but right now, with the swamp house, they just push the corruption out there so you can see it. They just change the law to work for them at any given moment. It's sad. Everybody who's in that swamp house have some form of bone somewhere. And it shows because the way how they do things. When I see people sit down and laugh, I've never seen a president giving a speech and the rest of heads of state just laughing. Not that they're laughing because it gives a joke, laughing at him of what he said. Because they see that it is so stupid. Did this man think that we are a part of his everybody inside there is a part of his Republican Party? And they don't see what's going on, and they don't get no news about the United States, and nothing is on social media, and nothing is in the news. You forget that the rest of the world is seeing the real fact and the real truth. Sad. I'm not into politics, but I always know from growing up that the United States have a strong hold on the rest of the world, and things that they do, and sometimes they do things that affect everyone else. And that's one of the reasons why I always keep a clean ears out and, listen to what's going on over there. But ever since the changeover, man, disgusting, weak, sad, pitiful. My goodness.
Instead of laughing behind his back, they laugh right in his face.
Right in his face.
But Trump, of course, Trump cannot abide being humiliated or exposed as the liar he is. So later in the day, when he was asked about the laughter, he made this preposterous claim he meant to get laughed at.
Oh, it was great. Well, that was meant to get some laughter, but it was great.
Oh, it was meant to get laughter? So you've been doing that joke for 2 years, and the first time it ever worked was at the UN? You guys are a great audience. My usual crowd doesn't get that one. That was not meant to get laughter. Trump's like the kid at the sleepover who wakes up with his hand in warm water and says, "Oh, good, I meant to pee my pants." But this incident was a deeply revealing look at the ways in which Trump and his sycophants lie and then create alternate realities to justify those lies, because this morning his aides and supporters on state TV adopted his line and insisted that the crowd was actually laughing with him.
When he said that, they love how honest he is, and it's not diplomatic, and they find it funny.
I like the president. I like his comment. I like the reaction. And then when he said, I was expecting that reaction.
So what I mean, somebody needs to tell this man when he's wrong and when things is not working.
Not surprised, but taken aback by the way other people said, "Oh, the world's laughing at us." I think they were having fun.
So to recap, Trump lied, got laughed at, and then lied about getting laughed at, and then Fox News lied about Trump's lie about how he got laughed at. And Trump's claim that he's accomplished more than any administration in history wasn't the only laugh line in his speech. He also repeated a debunked talking point that he's used before, that Germany is becoming dependent on Russia for oil and gas. And when the camera took a crowd shot of the German delegation, they seemed to be laughing at him.
Germany will become totally dependent on Russian energy if it does not immediately change course. Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers.
Look! Look at that dude's face. You know it's bad when you've made the Germans laugh. In Germany, that face is the equivalent of a Steve Harvey laugh. Trump kept undercutting his speech by embarrassing himself. In fact, in that same clip, he tried to deride international organizations by calling them expansionist, but he couldn't even say the word.
Here in the Western Hemisphere, we are committed to maintaining our independence from the encroachment of expansionist foreign powers.
Why does he
Anytime Trump's tried to be unofficial and sophisticated and so forth, he looks like a bobblehead doll.
His words so much? Trump's a teetotaler, and yet in the middle of that speech, he still got pulled over for a DUI. In fact, later in his speech, Trump did it again when he misread the phrase human smuggling, but in the classic Trump move, he tried to pretend that what he accidentally said was what he meant to say.
The United States is also working with partners in Latin America to confront threats to sovereignty from uncontrolled migration. Tolerance for human struggling and human smuggling.
Human juggling. That's right, human struggling, as in I watched the president's UN speech and saw a human struggling to pronounce words. So this week, we've seen this week that there's an entire right-wing propaganda machine to insulate Trump and his inner circle from the reality of their lies and the consequences of their actions. Let's not forget, Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, did the exact same thing. The very first words Kavanaugh spoke to the American people after Trump nominated him were a flagrant and obvious lie.
Mr. President, thank you. Throughout this process, I've witnessed firsthand your appreciation for the vital role of the American judiciary. No president has ever consulted more widely or talked with more people from more backgrounds to seek input about a Supreme Court nomination.
That was such an obvious and shameless lie. Trump was handed a list by a conservative think tank, and he picked the name from that list. Can you imagine if Kavanaugh had said that in front of the UN General Assembly?
No president has ever consulted more widely or talked with more people from more backgrounds to seek input
about a Supreme Court
Man,
nomination.
boy, you can kiss. You can kiss,
Now,
boy.
Kavanaugh's willingness to lie so shamelessly in that first speech and in his Fox News interview this week has wrecked his credibility as he faces horrific, credible new allegations from a third woman, Julie Swetnick. In fact, Kavanaugh's account of his supposedly pristine choir boy high school and college days in that Fox News interview on Monday has since been challenged by many of his own classmates. For example, nearly a dozen people who knew him well or socialized with him said Kavanaugh was a heavy drinker in college, with one saying Brett was a slop drunk and another saying he was frequently incoherently drunk. And in his high school yearbook, he listed himself as the treasurer of the Keg City Club, 100 kegs or bust. In fact, he was so drunk for his high school history class that when he was asked to describe the UN, he called it...
And this is the lifetime appointee for the Supreme Court.
Mark Judge, Kavanaugh's friend and classmate, and the man who was allegedly present during the incident, described by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, wrote a memoir about his drunken past called Wasted in 1997. And in that memoir, he doesn't name Kavanaugh specifically, but he does reference a character who passes out drunk and throws up in a car named Bart O'Kavanaugh. Dude, you couldn't come up with a better fake name for Brett Kavanaugh? Hey, man, I'm going to put you in my book. All right, but make sure you change my name. Don't worry, dude. No one will know it's you.
Ladies, I did a video a while back, about a month ago, when I titled the video, no man should tell a woman what she should or shouldn't do. But be honest with you, ladies, if you guys don't stand up, and stand up strong, and stand together, somehow, we're going to lose every rights that you guys have. Because you see, all the people who are right now who are being sexually assaulted and all these things, it's like you guys don't have no talk. They don't want to hear you guys. Every time they appoint someone to some position inside of the swamp house, they come up with some nasty dirt. And they're so corrupted that they don't care, that they will do everything and anything to put it through. This is How Can I Help Speak on this channel. This is Murphy. Like, share, subscribe. Someone needs to tell the person who are running the country what he's doing doesn't look good. And as an outsider, I can't laugh at you guys no more. Yeah, because I never expect this from the big United States of America. I never thought that I would see you guys in this situation. I never thought I would see people laughing this way. But I guess what you got in the bag is what you paid for, right? Peace out. Like, share, and subscribe.